For over 70 years, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marin has worked to inspire joy and justice in an imperfect world, sharing life's journey, celebrating many paths, and acting to make a difference. UU Marin celebrates people from all walks of life. No matter how you make your living or how you experience the sacred, no matter who you are, where you're from, or who you love, you are welcome here. If you're seeking open-hearted community, a place where you can have a real day-to-day impact in the world, and a space for the whole family to grow spiritually, come check out the church at the top of the hill. Come join UU Marin.
In this time of year, starting usually midweek now, on October after Halloween, the next day, is Dia de los Muertos, celebrated in a lot of different countries in Latin America on the 1st or 2nd, sometimes even the 6th of November. And in that, they remember their loved ones who have departed, and they may go and have big fiestas in the cemeteries. In Guatemala, where I lived for a while, they flew kites and had big picnics. So it wasn't always just a nighttime affair. But in the Latino tradition coming out of Mexico, they build ofrendas, which are altars to honor those who have passed on. And so we have a ofrenda here. They're often in folks' homes, but they can also be in public places. So we have our ofrenda here in our fellowship hall.
Today is the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. Today we are going to honor my tío Fernando. My name is also Fernando. I was named for my uncle, but everyone calls me Nando. As I watch the sun come up, I think about my tío Fernando. I miss him. He was my favorite uncle. He had long, skinny legs, and a second toe on his right foot was longer than all the other toes. And we both loved baseball. He always brought me coconut candy that got stuck in my teeth. Tío Fernando died 6 months ago, so this will be the first Dia de los Muertos to remember him. Yesterday, my mother scrubbed Tío Fernando's tombstone. I painted it blue and pink and pulled up loose weeds. I also helped my mother set up the altar in our living room. First, we washed the walls and swept the floor of our house. Then we opened a tablecloth with yellow and green embroidered birds, which reminded me of my uncle's parrot. This morning, we placed a picture of Tío Fernando on the altar and surrounded it with sweet-smelling candles. My mother placed my uncle's favorite foods, chocolate, cola, and mole on the altar. I laid his wooden flute there, too. When he visited, he would always play it for me.
The Day of the Dead is a time to remember people who have died, whom we will always love. Today, at the fiesta, we will bring Tío Fernando's special things to the cemetery. We will meet his spirit and show him he has not been forgotten. We will buy marigolds to bring to his gravesite. Their smell is strong and color bright. It will help guide his spirit to our fiesta tonight.
How will I meet Tío's spirit? Will I see him? Will he make a noise? How will I know it's really him?
So many questions. Some things we just know when it is time to know. Here are some pesos. Now go to the market, Nandito. Buy some things that remind you of your uncle.
What can I take to the cemetery for Tio? I wander through the marketplace.
Pan de muerto, come buy your bread of the dead.
I see Senor Romero holding up loaves of bread that look like twisted bones. He squeezes icing from a tube and draws a skull and crossbones on a round cake. Then he picks up a sugar skull, finds another bag, and squeezes out blue icing.
Here, Nando, have una calavera de azúcar. I have written your name on its forehead.
Muchas gracias, Senor Romero. I stare at the sugar skull for a moment. Then I ask him, how will I meet Tio Fernando's spirit?
I do not know, Nando. It is different for everyone. But when you do, your heart will be full.
I think about my uncle, and I buy a cake that is narrow and skinny, like Tio Fernando. I also buy some coconut candy to remind me of him. At another stall, I see Senora Magdalia singing about the devil's costumes she's selling. She shows me the silver bells and mirrors she's sewn into the black pants.
I am making disfraces de diablo for the masqueraders tonight. When they dance, the bells will make a beautiful twinkling sound. Here, Nando, this is for you.
She hands me a white handkerchief stuffed with cotton and tied with a string around the middle to make a head. She draws 2 black eyes on it and hands it to me. Muchas gracias, Senor Migdalia. I shake the head a little and ask her, how will I meet Tio Fernando's spirit?
I don't know, Nando. It is different for everyone. But when you do, you will feel good inside.
I move on to the stall selling skeletons, doing all kinds of different things. Senora Gonzalez waves to me to come take a look, and she hands me a skeleton cookie.
What do you think of my skeletons? See all the things that the dead still love to do? They dance, they play instruments, all the things they like to do when they were alive.
Muchas gracias, Senora Gonzalez. I stare at the skeleton cookie and I ask her, how will I meet Tio Fernando's spirit?
I don't know, Nando. It's different for everyone. But when you do, you will know.
I think of the spooky stories my uncle told me. I remember how he made his voice deep for some of the characters, like the goblins in the story, and how he made it high and squeaky for the skeletons. I pick up the skeleton swinging a baseball bat. It reminds me of my uncle, so I buy it. I walk from one end of the market to the other and stop at every stall. There's so much to see, so much to think about. I meet my mother, and she looks over all the things I've bought and smiles.
Hold my hand, Nando. It is getting dark, and the crowds are gathering to watch the actors tell stories of the dead. Let's stay together.
The street is crowded with musicians. People in costumes and masks twirl in circles before them. They play a mummer's serenade, and I laugh and join in the dance. There's actors up on the stage now, singing songs of life and death.
Come, let's go to Tio's grave now.
The cemetery is nearby. Outside it, we buy marigolds.
Marigolds are the special flower of the dead. The scent is strong and their colors bright. Both of these things help the spirits find their way to us.
We place the flowers on Tio's grave and attach them to the cross as well. My mother pulls out the guitar and sings my uncle's favorite songs. I whisper, "Is Tio Fernando's spirit here?"
Well, let's see. I will light a candle and ask the soul of your Tio to join us in the fiesta and remember the world he left behind.
My mother strikes a match to light the candle on the tombstone. Then she closes her eyes and puts her arms around me. I hear her heart beating. Petals everywhere. Their bright orange color and strong scent seem to be calling out to the spirits of the dead to find their way to us. The sweet-smelling candle on Tio Fernando's grave illuminates the marigold petals, turning them golden. I feel a tickling across my cheek. What is that? Above the quiet talking of other people, I hear a bird whistle a note as high as a flute. It makes me feel good inside, like Senora Magdalia described. I look down and see how the second toe on my right foot sticks out of my sandal. Tio Fernando's toes used to stick out the same way. It makes me happy to see it. I realize my heart is full, just like Senor Romano describes. It's the spirit of Tio Fernando. I look at my mother, and she opens her eyes and smiles. I can feel his spirit.
I can too. I know that he knows that we love him and that he has not been forgotten.
Then I am sure that Tio Fernando is happy with his fiesta.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry, for even when I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms we are